Okay, now for the inside cover, I got 2 pieces of paper here cut at 6 by 4 1/8. And then I have 2 pieces of white cardstock cut at 2 1/2 by 4 1/8. And then 2 more pieces of pattern paper cut at 2 3/8 by 4. And we're going to make pockets in the front. And back. Right, again, because this is on the cover, we're going to use score tape. And anything on the cover helps the book stay together. Because these pages end up being 4 by 8, this book is good for like a 3 by 5 photos, which is a standard size. It goes that way. I always try and line it up along the side here. Alright, this piece I am going to glue. On 3 sides. And I should have stuck something in there. And then this one, I'm just going to use ATG. And just center that on that pocket there. Alright, that should be good for that side. And we're going to do the same with the back. Make sure you don't put it on upside down. Glue 3 sides of this paper. I'll put that in there. Why my tape is having problems here. Okay, here we go. Alright, we have the front and back cover done. Inside and out. And there would be a good place for a title here, if I could think of one. I would put it there. Maybe with some big black thickers would be cool. And I think maybe this happy girl. I'm going to put on the front bottom corner there, just to ground this a little bit with this black, like right there. I think I like that. And then what I also like, or what I would like to do, is put some enamel dots on the front. And or maybe some of these candies, but they're quite large. If I have enamel dots that match those, that would be neat. Let's see. I think I'll put one candy dot on there. And then 2 of these orange. There. Kind of like that. Okay. Alright, enough decorating. Back to the hard stuff, right? I'm kind of leery too about this corner here. We'll see after I put a tag in it how I like it. I may have to figure out a way to get a corner rounder in there to round that corner. Because it's so sharp, it's getting stuck on things. Alright, so now we're going to go on to the pages. I think you can do this before, but I think I'm going to use the doily punch to punch the side of all these flaps. And your pages are going to go in like this. So we can go ahead and decorate the front, the part without the flap. Make sure that your opening's up at the top. So they're all going to be decorated similar. And the paper is going to be cut to 4 by 6, which is a full sheet, and then 4 by 2, which we can use the side pieces to do the bottom. So let's start by going ahead and punching all of the flaps here, and then we're going to punch some of the strips that we had left over. When we cut our pages, so I used my scraps from where I cut my pages, and I doily punched both sides, and I distressed those in the same ink that I use for the rest of the album to keep it cohesive. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the fronts of the pages, which is the opposite side here, and we're going to add the pocket and mat the page. So I have a 4x6 here, and the hinge is going to go on the back side, so that's why we can do this now. I have the 4x6, and you just put it on however you want. And it should have about an 1/8 inch border all the way around. And then your pocket, the ones that we haven't used yet, and this is why we didn't put this on, because now it fits right on top of this pattern paper. Okay, and we can just glue it on. Glue the bottom and glue the side. And that should just line up perfectly with the outside of that envelope, or with the outside of the paper. And then take your other 2 3/4 by 4. Line it up with the paper underneath this pattern paper, so it kind of looks like it's flowing. Alright, and that's our front page, our front pocket page, and we'll do some decorating here in a minute. So I'm just going to continue to do that. miscounted my pocket mats, and so I had to cut up one of the cut aparts, which I was like, that's cool, and then I cut apart the one that I cut for this. So now we're going to collage one together, and I just cut a piece of white cardstock at 4 3/4 so that I can piece this together. And I think what I'll do is use, oh, what do I want to use? I guess I could, I really like this print. I think I'll use this one. So I'm going to cut these at 2 3/4. And then maybe, how about this one? I think that one's, this one I used on the front, so it's short. I have another one of those. Let's use this one. So these should be 4. Okay, so I'm just going to cut these off at 2 3/4. And then we'll put it right onto that cardstock. So basically I messed it up, I fixed it, and then I managed to mess it up again before I even got it glued down. So I suppose you'll have that. And we'll just cover this. Alright, close enough. So that's going to be cute. And I went ahead and cut the rest of those apart, so we'll do something cool with those. Finish up these 2 pocket pages. Alright, not so bad. Okay, now what we're going to do is put them in order so that they're pleasing to your eye. Like, look at the colors. Like, I don't want these 2 side by side, so I'm going to switch those. And then I think I like that. And then let's put this one next, I think. How's that look? I think I like that. Okay, and now we're going to glue them in. And I'm just going to take this gusset and run a piece of score tape along the side. Try and get end to end. And then the page goes pocket, the top. And it should look like that when you're done. And then we're going to cover this up. So, all as well. And if you wanted to, we can mat this side before we put it in here. If it's easier, it doesn't matter. Alright, last one. Alright, so far so good. I like this size. Let's finish matting here. Now, let's do the inside page. So, we just need to make sure that we coordinate over here and we don't match, so so before we start with that, I'm going to take my strips here and I'm going to cut them. I'm going to cut 8 of these at 1/2 inch by 4 and 16 at probably 1/2 inch by 3. Okay, let's decorate this side of the page. I have 8 of these cut at 4 inches to go along the sides here. And I think I'll make I think I'll make it at the bottom like that. And then the lace trim I'll put going up. Okay, now the book itself is done, and it's time to add some tags. Okay, so we need tags for the front, the pockets, and then the large pockets up here. So what I've done is I've had this paper for a very long time in my stash, and it has a variety of glitter and just different textures. So I took this pink glitter and I cut these tags at 3.5. Hang on. Check that. 3 3¾ by 8.5. So I just cut, and you get 3 per piece of paper. So these are 3 3/4 by 8.5. And these I'm going to put a tab on them with this punch. So I need to punch 8 of these out. And I'm just using these scraps. So there's 8 of those, and then I will ink the edges again, and then these will go fold over in half, and they'll go on the top of my tags there. So so I had this problematic page, and the reason why is because I hadn't glued the flap down all the way where it folded under for the main page. And so I split the pocket open at the bottom. Let me show you how to fix this. Okay, so the first thing you have to do is remove the old flap, because that's what's giving you problems. And what was happening is since it wasn't glued down all the way, the paper, the tag that I was putting in there was just hitting it. So you just want to make sure you remove it completely. Alright, and there it is. And then I'm going to try and straighten up where I cut this. Just getting rid of some of the rougher parts. If my X-Acto blade knife had been sharp, it probably wouldn't have been so bad. And then I just took this 1/2 inch gusset, or it's 1 inch, folded in half, 1/2 inch on both sides, and we're just going to glue it in. So I'm going to glue one side in first. And remember, the issue with the other one is that it wasn't glued down all the way, so make sure you got coverage on this one all the way to the edges. Okay, so that should do. And then you just tuck this right inside the pocket. And you squeeze it together and let that sit for a second. Oops. You can paper clip it together if you want to give it a minute. There we go. Alright, so, and you can't hardly even tell. If you knew you did it, you would know it was there, because it's a little ruffled from me messing with it. But besides that, it looks perfect. So now I should be able to slide this tag right in there. I don't want to push too hard because the glue may not be dry all the way. And I may have glued the pocket together. Let me double check. Alright, there we go. So it's not a perfect fix because it does add a little bit of bulk to the pocket, but much better than it was before. My other option was to cut a 1/2 inch off the tag, but then the tag would have been a different size than all the rest of them. Alright, let's address this front pocket here. I have these two pieces of paper that I have cut to 3.5 by 2.5. I'm going to use my angle punch to make some makeshift tags. I'm going to use my punchy thing here. Put a hole in those. And then I had some scraps left over. I went ahead and inked. And I'm just going to add a little bit of paper here for some interest. And these are scraps. They measure 2 inches. And then let's go ahead and add one of these strips to it. And I'm just going to go coast to coast on this one and cut that off. Alrighty, so that gives us two little tags to stick up here, and it also gives us a pop of black on the front cover. And then I found these stickers because I thought it just needed some black, and we'll just let's put sweet on this. And let's see if it fits first. And these are American Crafts doll. So these are the foamy ones, so they stick quite well. I would have put a year, but I have no idea what we're going to do with this album, so I just needed a pop of black, I think. Okay, so I'm good with that. I'm also good with it being a little wonky, like up and down, so let's go with the flow there. Not that far down. Let's see here. Okay, now package these guys back up here in a minute. The inside tags, I have two more of these. These are 8.5, but they're not going to fit in the front because I glued the sides of these pockets down. These are 8.5 by 3 3/4. Let's try 3.5. I'm going to cut 1/4 inch off both these. How that works. Not quite. We're gonna go 3 1/4, and because 8.5 by 3 1/4 would look really funny, I'm gonna cut it down to 7. So these are now 7 by 3 1/4. All right. I am going to angle punch these and punch a hole in them also. Alright, front and back. Go. And then for the pockets here, I have these at 3 3/4 by 6.5. And as long as I didn't glue the pocket shut, which I think I did that one, this should work fine and dandy. Okay. I got both sides of that one. Okay, so yep, and then this one I cut it 3.5 by 3 3/4, and they're gonna go in front there of all those. But I'm gonna go ahead and make a big tag out of it. I'm gonna punch the corners with the angle punch, and then put the hole in it. I wanted to thank everybody for watching this tutorial one more time, and I hope that everybody enjoys it. And if you could all just give me a quick thumbs up and possibly a comment or a subscribe, and let the folks down at Country Craft Creations know that you enjoy my video so that they consider me for their design team. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you very much, and I will see you later, and bye-bye.